Okay, this is the world over the last 12 months. And you might think, well, wait a minute, if that's the world over the last 12 months, these are American depository stocks listed in the US, markets which can be in your SIP or ISA, then what about the last month with the Gulf War? And what does this tell us about how portfolios should be constructed and what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing? So if we look at it over the last month, which I'm going to do now, you might think, oh, I bet it's done dreadfully. Well, actually, no, it's done rather well. The trend has been in pretty much the same context. Now, I want you to particularly look at Israel. Okay, so over the last month, overall, most of the Israeli companies are up. And that tells you something for the West, whether it's Ukraine or conflicts in the Middle East. It tells you something about your portfolio. It should be as resilient, and the markets will eventually focus on profitability, not the conflict you're surrounded by. Israel's been surrounded in conflict for at least the last 2 years, you might say since its creation, but at least in the last 2 years. And yet the markets on a month-to-month, year-to-year basis tended to do well. And that's going to happen with the Middle East. The noise of the conflict will fall apart. We'll go back to what's important, which is profitability of underlying companies. That being the case, the lessons from the Middle East conflict is don't have too narrow a time frame because you're gambling. Don't try and pick the winners and the losers based upon the news narrative because you'll call it wrong. Okay. And number three, have companies which are resilient enough that over the long term, they keep generating profitability no matter what the world throws at them because the board of directors are rather good. And I always say with my son's junior ISA, my wife's pension, I'm picking companies who are saying, please let us manage that pension. So whether it's ASML, for instance, which is up 11% over the last month or 124% over the last year, it is these companies want to manage that pension. So I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to get bored. It's for the boards of those companies to deliver me the results. And the other aspect of it is that if we know we're going to have 20 to 40 securities, because anything less than 20, i.e. less than 5% in each might be too high a single stocks risk, and anything below more than 40, which means less than 2.5% in each individual stock, might be too little to move the needle, then we know that if that's the size of the portfolio, not every single stock will be up. That's why we didn't just pick one. And so we don't panic if something's underperforming to what we would have liked. We don't try and predict each individual stock, and we look at it at the portfolio level and say, how's the portfolio as a whole doing? We also don't have FOMO from some loudmouth on social media saying, hey, buy this, we're up 100% over just 6 months. Be wary of the tricks newsletters often use, which is low liquidity securities that they buy into first, then they advertise it to you. You get in later because the price already moved. They rely on their readership to put the price up in those low liquidity securities. And then when it falls off a cliff, they've already said, oh, we exited. Okay, you missed that. And then it's down a bit. You never get the returns that they've got. And of course, if they could really generate 60% every 6 months or 100% every 6 months, they'd already be the richest on the planet. So just be cautious of that. What we're trying to do is, even if you just take the presumption that you're trying to get a core of a benchmark like an S&P 500, 15% per annum for the last 10, 15 years, okay, that's your core, and you're trying to pick some satellites. So you really want to be cautious, and you're just saying, well, I'll just add a bit of ASML, a bit of NVIDIA, a bit of Microsoft for argument's sake, or Alphabet, which is up 100% over the last year or so, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, whatever else it might be, that to try and exceed that 15 to get you closer to, say, a 20. Well, the benchmark is doing the hard work, and then you've got the individual satellites doing the rest of it, is another way of looking at it. But there's lots of ways of constructing portfolios. If you want to learn some of the ways of doing it, have a look at alpeshpatel.com/links. We teach you on there a lot of free resources and tools, including a free copy of this, one of my 18 books, reviewed by Bloomberg, FT, hedge fund managers. So have a look at that, and it'll improve your know-how and education with the markets as well. And get in touch with us on that. Just have a look at alpeshpatel.com/links to see how. Thank you.